Hello, good people. So as we see a lot of crazy violence occurring in Australia, but why is it occurring? It's because our political elites and the crony capitalist bureaucratic state that is, in particular, the Labor Party and the Greens want installed in Australia, where we won't be allowed to vote for anybody that they don't approve of, want this. Now, why would they want this? Let's just go back and have a look. In 2006, there's 20.5 million Australian people living in Australia, no debt, and services are running very well. 20 years later, we're $1 trillion in debt. Where did that debt go? Because if you have a look, services are grinding hard. Hospital waiting lists are up. Everything's up, right? Waiting for something or to get something done, it's longer lines and it takes longer, and now there's even less human interaction. But we're also $1 trillion in debt. And there's 28 million people. Importing the third world into a nation, it was completely unnecessary. Our hospitals wouldn't be full of people if they weren't imported. Our schools, the same. We wouldn't need them. The reason is that the bureaucratic state must increase its size to unprecedented levels. But the issue will be this, is the system will collapse because there won't be enough taxpayers left. As we see, there's businesses going out of business, all because of Labor Party policy. Now, there won't be anybody to pay the taxes left once Labor is finished. So how will Labor maintain power? Well, number one, the Labor Party, in its infinite idiocracy, believes that importing these tribes into Australia, that these tribes will support the Labor Party. That's insane. And that shows a lack of intellectual capacity on behalf of the Labor Party, politicians, oligarchs, and members. Number one, these people have tribal allegiances to the end. They will never have any allegiance to Australia whatsoever. They will only ever support their tribe. They only believe in human rights for their tribe. And we have noticed this in Melbourne and in Sydney as well. We have noticed this in parts of Sydney for decades. We have known this in Melbourne for the last couple of years, in particular under the Jacinta Allen regime of whatever the hell is going on there. Insanity, the regime of insanity, we shall call it. As we've just seen, Jacinta, somebody wrote "Ditch the Witch" and she got all up in her head. How dare they do this to me? That's a narcissistic, that's a sociopathic narcissist right there. She's only concerned about her own vanity. She doesn't really care about Victorian Australians. She only cares about her vanity, her wealth, her income, her maintenance of power. So the Labor Party must import these people. At the same time, they must have around the country police forces that will not ever engage in critical thinking, that will only ever follow what the leadership tells them to do. We saw this during COVID. Insane what I saw. I was living in Japan. I lost everything in Japan. I had the 3 licenses lined up to start my own vocational college in Japan, running an Australian government accredited training program in Japan. The first person in the world to ever achieve these 2 feats. And I had to stop because in COVID, well, I was using my own money because no one was going to fund me. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to continue the business or open it. I had to pay rent, I had to pay all these expenses out, and I lost everything. I went to Austrade, the Australian Trade Commission. Well, said, is there anything you can do to help me? They said, and they had even, let me also tell you, 3 years earlier, they had written a report that they desperately want the program that I brought to the country. They want that in Japan. But no one was willing to do it because they said it was too hard, and I did it. Now, when I actually went there, you know what they said to me? Oh, that's not how we work. I said, but I've got it ready. I've got all the license. I've got all the agreements, everything lined up. All you need to do is maybe write to the bank to say, please give this guy a year, like you give Japanese citizens. Maybe even ask the building manager, the building owners, please, this is really something special for Japan too. No, they said basically we were expecting a university to come in and give us about $250,000 in research and, analysis reports and all this, and introducing them to the people that we know that actually desperately want this program. That's how we work. We're not going to help you. That's how the Australian government is. They're not interested in us. They're interested in the maintenance of their power. And they're going to need people in Australia who do not have critical thinking skills and will do anything they can to appease their paymasters. So we cannot expect, we noticed this in the UK recently with that Henry Nowak, wasn't it? Nowak? Who was stabbed, and the police arrest him. And the murderer, they even escort him to his kitchen so he can get some food. They don't even put handcuffs on him. Don't even take the knives away. Well, that's already in Australia. We saw this even 7-8 years ago when that reporter that I don't really have any time for, Lauren Southern from the United States, she was walking through Lakemba filming. The police said, stop. Now, why do we need this? Because we're importing tribes who hate us, who want nothing to do with us. They will take everything. Why are we $1 trillion in debt? Money is being sent out of the country at unprecedented record rates. Because these tribes don't have any allegiance to Australia. They will only take. And yet the Labor Party import them. And why are they doing it? Because these people can become the police force of the Labor Party. These can become the stormtroopers. These can become the brown shirts. These people can become the Maoist Red Army. They can do it. It's a very unfortunate situation that we've been put in, and we need to ensure that no Labor politician is ever voted into power again. That's the only way that we can do it. We can still have fair and free elections in Australia to an extent. Unlike in the US, where the Democrats have for a very long time been able to subvert the voting system through people not needing identification, mail-in votes, and it's a broken system over there. At least we still need identification. Now, that's the only way we can do this, is to make sure that we vote Labor out. But this also explains why the Labor Party are preparing a police force that will turn on us in an instant. And that's why foreigners and non-Australians are now allowed to join the police force. They're not going to employ Australians now, not if it's a Labor Party. And Liberals aren't any better. What they're going to do is they're going to make sure they get as many of these people with their tribal grievances, because they will turn on the Australian citizen in an instant. They won't even consider the rule of law. They'll just be like, I get to turn on the Australian citizen, the owner of this nation. Cool. I can probably get something out of this for my family back home. Now, it's not about race, it's about culture. It's about tribal culture, it's about culture, it's about tradition. Because there are many people. Now, Indigenous Australians should also be very angry at the Labor Party, because they've left them. They've just said, we're done with you. We've got a new pet now. Migrants. Who don't even have a history in this country. How do you feel, Indigenous Australians? How do you feel? You supported the Labor Party for so long. And they gave you your little welcome to country, and they gave you, whatever else they gave you a flag that was made by a Cuban in 1967. They've done all that for you. But now they've said, piss off, we don't care anymore. We've got a new pet. That's how the Labor Party are. They don't have any allegiance to this country. They only serve the political party, their political party, and they're importing people that will turn on them eventually. And we will be the ones left to suffer. And the Labor Party will need the police to be completely complicit in whatever the political powers to be choose to do to us. So people, we may not, I don't know if we can make it to the next election without more crises coming. I don't think there's a limit. I mean, the Labor Party is looking to import 15,000 more Gazans into Australia. That, to me, is treasonous. We've got we have a couple of years to the next election. I don't know if we can make it as a nation. I think we will see an inevitable collapse. I've lived overseas for 20 years. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen it in other countries. I've seen it happen. I've seen what these people are capable of. I have lived near places where police forces have to be out. They're actually patriotic. So we're like in Thailand. The police are still pro-Thailand because they're Thai citizens. They're born in Thailand. They don't hire foreigners. Absolutely not. Because the people have to have a stake in the nation to police it. If they don't care. They go back to their tribal allegiance. We have to do everything we can from here to now. It doesn't matter what the election is. It could just be a council election. Vote out these Yassir and Ahmed Oofs. Make sure we don't need them in this country. They're unnecessary. They're superfluous to Australia. We need to do a few things. Number one, make sure that at every election, we never vote Labor again. We never vote Greens. Greens are actually the radical left-wing lunatic arm of the Labor Party. They're too dumb to see that. They're just pawns in Labor's game. And Labor also don't control it. It's definitely World Economic Forum. But we need to make sure that in any election we vote whoever is One Nation. I don't care. I don't care if you hate them. Because at least they might be a little bit more pro-Australian. Another one is, we need to start writing to our politicians, to our members, state and federal. Write letters saying, can we please deport immediately 5 million people? At least then we can get to 23 million. We may be manageable at 23 million, but we're not at 28. We don't have the infrastructure, and it's not going to catch up. And we don't want to become South Africa. So we need to start writing letters. Demand immediate deportation of 5 million people. Rescind all Australian citizenship granted to criminals and to anybody who has joined a terrorist organisation. That's pretty fair. And just let them go to wherever that was, wherever their favourite organisation was. Let them go there. Let them stay there. Like, we shouldn't have brought back people from Syria. We should have kept them in Syria. They enjoyed it. They joined it themselves. If you believe otherwise, well, nobody can help you. So anyway, good people. Remember, we can do this through elections in Australia. So we should do that. We should also start writing letters. We should just pile up the paperwork in political leaders' offices until they're like, well, what can I do? We should be writing to every single police force, every single police officer, personally write them a letter saying, who do you work for, Australia or for the radical elites they don't care about you. It's just, they're just paying you money. But you have to send to them the Australian Constitution. Try to get them on our side. We can do this through civil, peaceful discourse in this country. We don't need any other way. Let's not allow our nation to further fall. Let's keep Labor out of it, keep the Greens out of it. We have to pull the Liberal Party into line, start writing to them, demanding things, demanding this stay Australia and not become some place for tribal grievances. So anyway, good people, thank you very much for watching this video. Stay peaceful, use the civil discourse that we have, write letters, keep them on their toes. Demand they write back personally to reply to your questions and to your concerns. We have to push them. We have to push them. We can do it in Australia, civilly and peacefully. Okay, good people. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye-bye.